the 2K Sports pregame show.
Ernie Johnson joined by Shaquille O'Neal. Kenny the Jet Smith, thanks for tuning in. You're watching the NBA on 2K Sports. Tonight, it'll be the San Antonio Spurs going up against the New York Knicks. Checking out New York. They're looking to come out strong and make their mark early. They have to look at this game as a great opportunity to do just that. And with some time here to spare, let's talk leadership in the NBA. Kenny, who would you say are the best leaders on the floor in the league?
Wow. Well, obviously, the great Tim Duncan in the San Antonio Spurs with his leadership with Greg Popovich. They're the top of the list. You know,
a Sunday afternoon with the NBA here on 2K Sports. Welcome, everyone. This is Kevin Harlan with Greg Anthony and Clark Kellogg and our sideline reporter, Doris Burke. The fans making some noise here at the Knicks Arena. The New York Knicks are getting settled in. And the starting group for the Spurs, the always reliable Parker and Green in the backcourt. Kawhi Leonard is out there with LaMarcus Aldridge. And it's Duncan in at the 5 down low. Well, LaMarcus Aldridge, Clark, is bread and butter, that great jump shot he is.
Yeah, that's something that every big man needs. That high release, really tough to get to that shot.
Here's Porzingis from the arc. And that one's good. Freak's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3.
Really good job of creating just enough space to let that one fly.
And Parker, here we go. Missed inside.
And I remember when Aldridge first went to college, I mean, he had that clumsy jump shot. But he injured his hip and had to sit out a season. And he spent all that time sitting on a stool and really perfecting his form. I mean, he said his shot went from garbage to amazing over the course of that season.
Parker's shot is off.
The defense better not make a habit of giving him that shot. I mean, he doesn't miss many of them.
Freak kicks to Afflalo. It's Carmelo Anthony on the wing. New York moving it around. And stolen by Aldridge. Here's Duncan. First quarter, about a minute and a half in. And stolen by Freak.
And even though Aldridge is deadly from mid-range, he's also conscious of not settling. I mean, he'll use that threat to get inside, and he's even stepping out to shoot the 3 every once and again, but he's becoming an even more complete offensive threat.
San Antonio again missing. New York's gone 1 of 2 from long range in the first quarter. Back to Afflalo. Pass to Freak from 18 feet away. Offensive rebound. Afflalo dishes to Anthony. Another shot. And the shot no good, a bit short. For San Antonio, they've gone just 1 of 4 to get this game started. And so he draws the foul on the shot, a trip to the line to shoot 2.
Listen, Kawhi Leonard hasn't been in the league for a long time, but he's feeling right at home. He said last season he wants to remain a Spur for life.
And for Leonard to hear players say that a lot, but rarely before they reach the end of their rookie contract.
Yeah, I think Leonard just realizes what a special situation he found himself in. I mean, he is the complete package as a player and custom made for how the Spurs like to play and do things.
And a really good way to start the game. He's a guy who, if he gets it going early, he's going to give you problems.
It's deflected.
Really just struggling here in the first few minutes. 5 attempts with only... Oh, wow.
That's a beautiful.
Excellent work there in transition.
Yeah, I think it's always better to go early in transition, to attack when it's there, because oftentimes you can beat the defense down the floor.
And that last replay courtesy of Kia. Parker passes to Aldridge. Once again off the mark by San Antonio. The Knicks leading by 4. We're about 3 minutes into this first quarter. And that one's good. Freak.
Just reliable, guys. He's just always trying to make the right play.
Freak's gone 3 for 5 from the field. And Parker, here we go. Nice concentration to hit the double clutch layup.
You know, after starting the game 0 for 3, you know he was just desperately looking for that one to fall.
Now here's Freak. He's covered by Leonard. Duncan with the block. They get it back. Anthony can't hit. Spurs trail by 4. Here's Green, and that comes off the assist by Duncan. Green's got his first points of the night.
Well, that fast break went according to plan.
Yeah, nice job there, Greg. Recognizing the opportunity was there to push it, and then excellent execution.
And it's just hard to imagine the Spurs without Coach Popovich on the sidelines. He's the longest-tenured coach in the NBA and has done so much for this team. Easily one of the best coaches in the history of our league.
The Knicks shooting their first free throws of the game.
And their numbers from the line last season, they're good, just not great. About 77% as a team.
And you know, a lot of times, guys, in some of their performances last year, their free throw numbers helped them win games.
Catching up on the changes for New York. Kyle O'Quinn, he's checked in for Lopez. Derek Williams comes in for Porzingis. Lance Thomas, he's checked in for Carmelo Anthony. And Roten subbed in for Aaron Aflalo. Now here's Mills. And O'Quinn sends it back. Feeds to Roten. 1 up, 1 down. 2 points with his first shot this game. And an important part of every team's game, a look at the hustle stats for the Knicks.
Boy, you have to admire their intensity in the paint defensively. I mean, really contesting and even blocking shots. Definitely a factor early.
Yeah, the other thing, though, is they have attacked in the open floor. They're definitely getting a lot of easy ones that way.
Oh, Maestro, he is so good at making those lead passes, like conducting an orchestra.
This one for 3. The rebound by Roten.
So far on the glass, it hasn't even been close.
Yeah, they're taking it to him. It feels like they've gotten every loose ball.
Spurs trail by 8. Now Diaw. Quiet so far offensively, searching for his first points of the game.
That's exactly how you have to defend him. He's a guy that the D needs to be aware of at all times.
And that one's good. Freak.
You know, usually teams go on runs and it comes from a lot of layups and dunks. But that's not the case here.
Well, it's about rhythm, and they put this run together on the strength of their mid-range jump shot. They might as well be layups with the way they're shooting.
Now here's Freak. Diaw missing his last shot. Offensive rebound. Moves back up. No good. San Antonio's gone 0-3 from three-point land. Nothing yet going outside. And Mills kicks to Diaw. The pass to Mills. He feeds it to Anderson. Looking to end the run. The Knicks pull it in. From deep. And a chance to hear from Tony Parker, who said he lives for the challenge of continue.
I always try to improve and get better. And
in Tony Parker's case, great is what he wanted to be and has been for a long time.
You know, that's great because that shows Pops and why he's one of the best in the game. You got to be able to drive and motivate and also give the confidence. And that's what's happening to Tony Parker. Remember when he first came on the scene, it was not a cakewalk one. He had his struggles, and now we're talking about a guy who's going to be in the Hall of Fame.
Well, not exactly a close game so far, but as the second quarter starts here, plenty of time for a comeback. And before we move on, what do you guys think about what we've seen so far from the Knicks?
I just like the way they're getting out in the open floor, taking advantage of all those fast break chances here early on.
I agree with you, Greg. I mean, they can run, and they've done a good job filling the lanes in transition.
All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups, courtesy of Gatorade, as the second quarter gets going. On the court for the Knicks, they've got Derek Williams. Aflalo is out there with Tony Roten. Then it's Thomas, and it's Porzingis in at the center, locking down the middle. Here's Anderson. Oh, that's blocked. And that's out of bounds. San Antonio will retain possession for the Knicks. Robin Lopez has checked in for Williams. And Carmelo Anthony has subbed in for Lance Thomas. So San Antonio going with an almost entirely new group here. Tim Duncan, he's checked in for West. Aldridge comes in for Kyle Anderson. Kawhi Leonard, he's checked in for Kevin Martin. And Tony Parker subbed in for Patty Mills.
Hard to get that one off with the size difference there. That makes it a tough individual matchup for him, especially down low.
Well, took on the big guys going in there and challenging them like he did. But, boy, that was a nice job.
Well, guys, what a nice surprise Tony Roten was last season, especially effective taking over at the point, Clark, with Michael Carter-Williams gone.
Yeah. Roten put up a career-high 5 assists per game and really worked hard at the defensive end as well. He's one of the few talents on the Sixers roster that hadn't been traded away.
But on that shot, with that, the Knick lead is cut down to just 12 points with the basket from Kawhi Leonard. Roten dishes to Carmelo. And there's another one for the Knicks.
And for Roten last season, he even took on more of a scorer's mentality. Went up in points, went down in field goal percentage. But like a boxer, he gets a little extra credit for pushing the action. How about the way he's able to angle his body to shield the big fella off and still get the finish?
You've got to be clever with your sleight of hand when you get inside and try to finish against the bigger guys. And he made it look easy that time.
And that one's good. 6 points for Tony Parker.
And, you know, talking about Roten, I think the next step in his development is to produce at the same level but with greater efficiency. Too often his highlight reel passes led to turnovers. He would gamble defensively, too. That's, to me, just a young player growing up on the job.
And so New York calls timeout. They're first. And for Manu Ginobili last season, not his best. Down in every measurable category since his rookie year. He's 37, myriad of injuries. You know, but Greg, there's still something so special about that play.
Yeah, I mean, so much of his game is about movement. And Kevin, after 13 full seasons and factor in all of the internet. National competition, you're going to have to start to show some wear and tear, and that's been the case for Manu.
Excellent point. He played 4 pro years overseas before the NBA. Afflalo with it. He's picked up by Parker. Porzingis can't hit. Spurs trail by 13. Parker kicks to Aldridge. That drops, and it comes off an assist from Parker. Aldridge has got 5.
You know, guys, getting back to Ginobili, the most concerning part about last year centers around his shooting. Down in field goal, three-point, and free throw percentage. Just could not find the mark all season long.
Follow against Green. Clock at 6. Anthony nowhere around. And the Knicks hit again from deep.
How about the passing? They are moving the ball without any thought, without any individual agendas.
Yeah, and it's really fun to see that kind of unselfishness. Really hard not to appreciate all the assists they've racked up.
Pass to Aldridge. And there's the whistle, fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line.
And looking forward for Ginobili, he may have to reshape his game a little bit. Less commotion overall to try and reduce turnovers. Maybe accepting more of a toned-down role versus the callous role that he's really enjoyed over the course of his career. And guys, remember, LaMarcus Aldridge last January suffering a torn ligament in his thumb, scheduled to undergo surgery and miss 2 months of the season, but he opted to tough it out and keep playing. And boy, how big was that for the Blazers?
Freak, and the shot counts. He's fouled, and it's a chance for a three-point play.
Well, if you're going to give them layups, there's no way you're going to get back in this game.
And Aldridge postponing that thumb injury surgery, even though they said it might double his eventual recovery time.
Yeah, I think it's pretty admirable that he was out there because he wasn't just playing in pain. He was playing hurt. That shows you his commitment to winning.
Back to Parker. Over to the left wing. The dish to Green. Parker up top. He's got 6. Takes a big high bounce and goes in. Parker's got 6 points in the quarter.
Boy, he's really doing a nice job taking advantage of what the defense is giving.
Now here's Freak, covered by Parker. And here's Freak. He's got 16. From 17 feet out, here's Roten. It's rebounded by Leonard. Leonard's got his 3rd rebound tonight. And the foul on Carmelo Anthony. That is his first foul of the game.
And really, these are some of the toughest calls an official has to make.
Yeah, but in this case, I think he got it right. I mean, the defender was still moving there and never really had good legal guarding position. He wasn't set.
Derek Williams checked in for the Knicks. Thomas comes in for Carmelo Anthony. So San Antonio going with an almost entirely new group here. West is checked in for Aldridge. Anderson comes in for Leonard. Martin's checked in for Daniel Green. And it's Mills in for Tony Parker. And here's Mills for 3. Kept alive. Here's West. It's Anderson with the drive. Nice fake, but the layup off the mark.
Excellent. Really solid job, actually, by the defense to get in his way as he was going up for that one.
Took him no time at all on that one. And that's now 18 points for Freak.
And just a little bit ragged defensively there, Clark.
Outside Martin. And stolen by Roten. And a fast break now for New York. Fires high post. Will not go. This is off the front iron. Spurs trail by 14. Mills passes to Anderson. And there's the feed to Mills. It's good from long range. Mills has got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game. Now here's Freak. He's covered by Anderson. Puts one up from 19. And again, it's New York.
Next up, 38-25.
And here's Mills from the arc. Got it off in time, but it's no good. The clock runs out, and we're hit.
Well, Carmelo, what a...
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hi again, everybody. Ernie Johnson here, joined by Shaq and Kenny the Jet. Welcome to the Halftime Show on 2K Sports. New York holding the upper hand after the first 2 quarters. They have a 13-point lead. All right, Big Diesel, your take.
Well, it was an unselfish, team-oriented half of basketball. The ball never stopped moving. Their offense had a great flow to it. It prevented anyone from getting lazy out there. They're always moving, cutting, knowing where they need to pass the ball, Ernie.
Kenny, how do you think San Antonio played?
Their inaccuracy from behind the arc was brutal. Shot selection, I didn't see any. The perimeter offense they're running, you could scrap that. They need to get back to the basics. Pound it inside, more.
And that's it for halftime as the second half is just about to get underway. See.
We're getting back to the action now. It's been a one-team show so far. We'll see if that changes here in the third.
Talk about being on his game. Look at the numbers for Freak. He has 20 points, and he's added a steal to his stat line also.
You know what? The number is not huge, but he has been doing some valuable defensive work for him.
On the court right now for the Spurs, Parker and Green are the guard pairing. Aldridge out there with Kawhi Leonard. And it's Duncan in at center. And that's out of bounds. San Antonio will retain possession.
Timeout Knicks.
Time called here. The Knicks decide to talk it over.
I mean, the Knicks were bad last year, and it became evident early on as the season grew older, more and more of their national coverage teams were being pulled.
And San Antonio has possession, down by 15. There's Green with the three. Excellent D there from Aflalo.
You've got to give them a lot of credit for the job they've done on the backboard.
They've done a lot of things well today, but really it's about what they've done on the backboard that's at the top of that list.
And Parker, here we go. That's good. He's 5 for 9.
You know, he's knocking down his shots today, but it hasn't really translated to the scoreboard yet.
The Knicks leading by 16. Freak with it. He's picked up by Parker from downtown. And the rebound goes to Duncan.
Hard to figure out how he doesn't knock that one down. No defender in sight.
Follow against Green. Fires top of the key. That one off the back iron and out.
1 for 4 from the field since halftime. They're having a tough time getting it going here.
And it's Freak missing. Spurs trail by 16. Leonard attacking. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him. Kawhi Leonard with another great season last year earned his first Defensive Player of the Year award with his outstanding play.
And for Leonard, he became the first perimeter player to win one since 2004. That just shows you how incredible his defense was at times.
And, you know, for Leonard, you can add that Defensive Player of the Year award to his hardware list, and that puts him in elite company, one of only 3 players to win Defensive Player of the Year and Finals MVP. The other 2, Jordan and Olajuwon.
No good on the second free throw.
And for Leonard, winning the Defensive Player of the Year didn't change him at all. I mean, he received a car for winning that award and gave it to charity. Went out of his way to thank his teammates during his acceptance speech. I mean, I think it speaks of his character and really the impact that Popovich has had on him and that entire Spurs team. You know what? They just are in a funk right now offensively. A good time to maybe come up with a play to get them a good look.
Well, most coaches, you know, usually have a go-to speech or tactic that they can use when they need it most. So we'll see if that's the case here.
So Greg Popovich going to take a timeout right here and talk to his team.
And did not seem happy about how things are going on right now and maybe wants to make some changes.
I agree. I mean, just was not comfortable with the way things were set up at that particular time. And in that case, I think it's the right thing to do.
And stolen by Freak. To the middle. Wants to get it to Aflalo and does. And it's going to be a goaltending call here, so they'll count the bucket.
And when it comes to size, it's not a one-on-one matchup that favors him.
Well, you wouldn't know it with that finish, I'll tell you. I mean, that took a little bit of creativity right there.
Spurs trail by 18. Dishes to Duncan. Fades. It's rebounded by New York.
Not only is their lead big, but their advantage on the boards is huge, too.
They've been the aggressors, plain and simple, outworking them, fighting for every loose ball.
Manu Ginobili's checked in for Leonard. the Spurs have gone only 1 of 5 from the field since halftime. A very slow start offensively. The San Antonio Spurs, a team that has had such a strong core and is so disciplined, Clark, it's hard to see them struggle even think of them struggling even on the road.
Well, you know, last season they did have trouble at times on the road, but 22-19, still not too bad.
Time called here. The Knicks decide to talk it over.
And for the Spurs on the road, it was the scoring. They were so good at home, but scored 8.5 points less per game on the road. That was the biggest margin in the NBA.
That drops.
And no doubt about it, in order for them to be successful, he has got to be a catalyst when it comes to scoring.
Spurs trail by 18. It's Ginobili with the drive. Afflalo pulls it in.
Boy, it's been a long time since the Spurs had a losing record on the road, so there aren't any concerns for them. I mean, they've never had a losing road record since Tim Duncan was drafted. Wow, that's back to 1997.
Parker outside. Shot from free throw range. No good. Now the Knicks take it the other way. It's stolen by Green. To the inside. Looking for Ginobili. He gets it there. Duncan up on top. No good. Anthony with the defensive effort.
And typically he has the touch to finish when he's in tight, but not sure on that possession.
And the dunk by Lopez.
And gobbled up that rebound and went straight into attack mode on the putback.
Oof, he is one of the most determined rebounders, Clark, we have got in the NBA.
Yeah, you're calling it right, Kevin. I mean, he gets so many second chance points because of how hard he works to get to the rebound.
And how about that one-man fast break?
I love the power finish at the end of it, too.
San Antonio's gone 1 of 2 from beyond the arc since coming out of the break.
And Robin Lopez, last season, he missed about 6 weeks with that broken hand, but freak injuries aside, he's been pretty durable over the course of his career. Had played in all 82 games the previous 2 seasons.
Just 4 to shoot. Green dishes to Parker. From deep three-point range, and it's going to be a 24-second shot clock violation. They turn it over. So for the Knicks, Derek Williams checked in for Lopez. Lance Thomas comes in for Anthony, and Roten subbed in for Aaron Afflalo. So San Antonio going with an almost entirely new group here. David West, he's checked in for Duncan. Kyle Anderson comes in for Green. Martin's checked in for Manu Ginobili. And it's Mills in for Tony Parker. Here's Freak. Rips down the breakaway slam.
And from an offensive standpoint, they have just been stellar.
Yeah, really good. I mean, extremely well coached, fluid, efficient. Man, it's been a lot of fun to watch. The points just keep piling up because they've been such a well-oiled machine.
And Robin Lopez signing a new contract this offseason. He had been significantly underpaid for his production over the last 2 seasons.
And, Kevin, you knew he was due for a raise. 7-footers who impact the game at both ends the way he does are really valuable.
Over to the left wing. There's a screen. Williams passes to Porzingis. Thomas with the ball. West picks him up. That is good.
Hey, kid, you ready?
Thomas got his first 2 points.
And he's made more than his fair share of those today.
They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've had a number of empty ones, a long time without a basket.
They got to find something, you're right. 20 seconds left in the third. Kicks to West. Now here's Mills. Defense is right there. No good, unable to end this run.
Yeah, the offense seems completely in disarray.
Exactly. But at the other end, it's one bucket after the other. This run is getting out of hand right now.
And as we conclude the third quarter, pretty much a blowout. It's been a one-sided affair. New York ahead, running away with it. And don't go away. We'll be back momentarily. And thanks again for joining us. Let's see what happens here in the fourth. The Spurs shooting a low 30% mark from the field. Derek Williams is out there with Lance Thomas. Then there's Kyle O'Quinn. Then there's Calderon. And it's Galloway in at the point. That's the 5 for New York right now. Shot on the wing. Shot is off. Good D by Miller.
Ill-advised shot there, Clark.
Yeah, exactly. That was lower than low percentage.
And the basket by Ginobili. New York's gone 7 of 15 from three-point range tonight. They're not afraid of that shot. And there's the basket. Whistle blows and a chance for a three-point play. Going to the line for one.
Another pass put right into the shooter's pocket, right in the shooting pocket for a terrific assist. They've done a lot of that today.
And it's something we haven't seen much of at the opposite end of the floor.
The Spurs making a switch here. Leonard's checked in. Excellent D there from Williams. Clark, they've shared the load offensively.
Yeah, they've done a nice job with it, Kevin. Everybody's touching the ball. There's a nice flow to what they're doing offensively.
And, guys, they put the defense on their heels. You can see right now they're trying to react, and that's what you want when you're in a rhythm offensively.
Thomas, no good. And the Spurs pushing it up now. Here's Marjanovic. And he finishes nicely on the layup.
Yeah, heads-up aggressive play right there. Saw the smaller man on him and took it straight to the basket.
Calderon kicks to O'Quinn. About a minute and a half through the fourth quarter now. And that one's good.
No issues on that one. Good work all around.
37.
For San Antonio, they've gone 3 of 4 in field goal attempts since getting things started here in the fourth. Here's Marjanovic. Here's Diaw. Lays it up, and despite of the excellent defense at that.
In that tight, with that much of an advantage height-wise, there's just not a lot the defense can do.
And Boris Diaw picks up the foul. That's his first foul.
You know what? You've got to always be in control of your emotions.
Straight frustration right there, and I agree with you. Self-control of your emotions, a must-have if you're going to play winning basketball.
Looking at who's out there now for the Knicks. Kevin Seraphin, he's checked in for Thomas. And it's Grant in for Jose Calderon. For San Antonio, they've gone an outstanding 4 of 5 from the field in the fourth quarter so far. Just a little under 2.5 minutes have passed now here in the fourth. Knocked loose. Shot clock at 5. And 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Throwing the whistle and a lot of contact there.
Fellas, you look at Boris Diaw and say, my goodness, if he could just get in better shape. But he uses every bit of that significant backside of his to his advantage. Opponents can't get through him or around him. So he's making good use of the extra LBs.
Getting back to Diaw, he has a sneaky quick first step. You think he won't or can't blow by you, then suddenly, and you know this, Greg, you're stuck to his hip as he's taking it to the rack for a and one.
You know, he's a bit like Foreman, and I'm not talking about his body type.
Or the grill.
Yeah, you know, Diaw plays with you a little bit, puts that body on you, lulls you to sleep, then wham, shows you up in the worst way.
O'Quinn with it. Leonard picks him up. Seraphin kicks to O'Quinn. And again, it's the Knicks missing.
I tell you what, folks, I bet he won't miss that shot next time he takes it.
It's Ginobili with the drive. Here's Marjanovic. Excellent D there from Aflalo. The Knicks have gone 2 of 7 from the field in what's been a cold start to the fourth quarter for them. Grant gets a wide open look. Rebound San Antonio. Now here's Diaw. He dishes it to Ginobili. Here's Marjanovic. Tries it from 9. A tad short, but it's good. Off the front iron.
Purely from a size standpoint, that is a mismatch that's going to be hard to overcome defensively.
Yeah, maybe a change of the game plan right now, looking at some different sets because of the matchup.
Yeah, I agree with you because they're looking to tweak things to maybe get those matchups working in their favor.
New York calls timeout. Last season ended with the Knicks pretty much packing it in, but Clark, it didn't start out that way.
You know what? Not at all. I mean, the Knicks were picked by many, Kevin, to be a playoff team last season. Clearly, things did not go as planned.
And the Knicks making a change here. Freaks checked in, and San Antonio also making a switch. Green's checked in, and it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Green. David West, he's checked in for San Antonio. Anderson comes in for Leonard. New York's gotten off to an 0-for-2 start from downtown here in the fourth quarter.
And it became clear, thinking about the Knicks again. I mean, it made sense for a team with injuries and being in disarray on the floor to just battle for that lottery.
Passes it to West. And the rebound goes to the Knicks. O'Quinn's got 3 rebounds so far in the game. And some very quick points for him on that possession. Freak's got 41.
You know, kind of packing it in for the sake of being better in the future can possibly work in New York for a year or two, but not longer than that. The media will eat you up there if you don't start making some progress towards winning, pleasing basketball.
Great D that time from Green. The Spurs have gone 6 of 11 since the start of the fourth quarter. Up and in on the layup.
That's the 10th straight point they've given up in the paint.
And, you know, it doesn't matter how good your defense is on the perimeter if you're going to allow easy ones inside like that.
And really, these are some of the toughest calls an official has to make.
Yeah, but in this case, I think he got it right. I mean, the defender was still moving there and never really had good legal guarding position. He wasn't set.
And there's the foul on the shot. He'll go to the line for 2.
And the Spurs last season became the first franchise to hire a female assistant coach. A big step, not just for the Spurs, but really for all of the NBA.
Well, Greg, we just talking about the assistant that was hired was Becky Hammond, a phenomenal player for a very long time in the WNBA. And Clark, you know, you and I were talking about this before. She was a perfect candidate to become the first full-time female assistant.
Yeah, I agree with you, and it might not seem like that big a deal to some, but this was a big-time barrier breaker that the Spurs pulled off.
And it's a defensive 3-second violation. And a moment now to look at the scoring approach in terms of where the points are coming from here for the Knicks.
From mid-range, it's been a very nice game for them. I mean, they've been finding the bottom of the net a lot.
And also, how about the points they've gotten in transition or on the fast break tonight? That's been a huge factor as well.
And San Antonio has possession. Anderson can't get it to go.
Yes, and with this one winding down, it's obvious to everyone who watched it. Just a total mismatch and a true show of strength for the Knicks.
And they could do no wrong today, Steve. That's right. This was a team performing to its Clark's fullest capability.
Yeah, and a very satisfying win for them, too. A game to remember, and on the other side, definitely one you want to forget as soon as possible.
And when you look back at this one, what an amazing performance this was for a Freak. Every time he shot it, it seemed like it was going to drop in. And if it didn't, everyone was surprised.
Nobody near Williams. Knocks down the 3-ball.
And that's just a little more for these fans to cheer about as they get ready to celebrate a W.
Well, let the party start. The celebration begins, and they're going to let their guys hear it.
Miller with the ball. Out defended by Freak. Miller with the ball. That's good.
They clearly look like a different team now. Suddenly, they've got some energy out on the floor.
Yeah, but it's come a little too late to have a real impact on the game, though. We call this box score window dressing. All it's going to do is make the numbers look a little better than it was.
They get it back. O'Quinn, West with the block. Here's Marjanovic. From 10 feet out. Can't get it to go. Serafin can't get it to fall. So no problem for New York as they get the win. This game may not have been the most exciting we've ever seen, but you have to appreciate just what a clinical performance they put on.
Yeah, they were the superior team in every department, in every category to me, Kevin. I know their fans loved it and appreciated it.
Well, folks, that's going to do it for now. This is Kevin Harlan saying thank you for watching. See you later.
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Kevin, much appreciated. And now let's move on to our just a monster first quarter of the game. He came out